Welcome everyone to another CTC Software webinar. My name is Sean Zerbis, the Director of BIM Development here at CTC Software, and today I get to share with you a very powerful tool out of the BIM Manager suite called Import&Link Manager. We're going to go over a fairly comprehensive introduction today to this tool set. But let's jump into the Import&Link Manager and see what it can do for us. So Revit itself, Revit as a product, has sort of a passable tool for managing linked files. It's okay. It can do Revit links, DWG links, some other kinds of links, but you know what? It could be a lot easier to use. And the real big issue here is that, sadly, within the standard stock Revit UI, there is absolutely no way whatsoever to discover imported content. Imported DWGs, imported DXF files, things like that. You just can't discover it. And so the Import&Link Manager basically handles both of these in a single user interface. You don't have to go to multiple dialogues to manage your links or have nowhere to go to find your imports. This environment isn't just to find it, but to manage it also. So it makes it a lot easier to do all of this management. So what I'm going to do is kind of show you this tool set. We're going to go over a couple of things. First of all, in case you don't already have it, how you can get your hands on the BIM Manager suite. That way you can try this. In fact, if you want to, you can even follow along in an active project if you're interested today. I'm going to introduce you to the basic user interface for Import&Link Manager. We're going to go through some basic link management, and then I'm also going to do some updating of some imported models, imported DWGs, and do that very efficiently. So we're going to go through all of that today. First off, I want to show you how you can get your hands on this suite. So I'm going to pull across here the CTC website. This is ctcsoftware.com, and to get this is a part of the BIM Manager suite. So if you go into products and you go to the BIM Manager suite right here, you can get this particular suite, trying it free for 14 days. You can purchase it right from here if you want to. Of course, you can talk to one of our reseller partners about that as well if you'd like. Comes with all different kinds of licensing methodologies. And here you'll notice that it works in the latest 4 versions of Revit. So you don't have to install it 4 different times. You download it once, install it, and it automatically applies to 2019 through 22. That out of the way, once you get that, you download it, you install it on your Revit. Now let's figure out where it is you're going to use that inside of Revit. And so I'm going to actually jump in live to the Revit user interface here, and we're going to try this on a live project model. So first off, where do you go in Revit to get access to the Import&Link Manager that we offer? When you install that the first time, it's going to appear here on the CTC Software tab, and it's going to be a part of this suite of tools, the BIM Manager suite, the tools in blue. You'll notice we've got a bunch of other suites as well. Check out our other webinars for that on our YouTube channel. But here on the BIM Manager suite, the tool that we're talking about today is the Import&Link Manager, one of the dark blue colored icons on this suite, meaning it's a part of the licensed, paid-for portion of the suite. With Import&Link Manager here, I'm just sitting here on a basic exit view. I'm not going to be in a floor plan necessarily unless I absolutely need to be. As a BIM Manager, when you open up this tool, the powerful thing here is that once it opens, there we go, it scans your drawing, finds all your imports, all your links, and reports all of it to you here right away. You don't have to know what view it was placed in, if it was a specific DWG or an image or something like that. You just see it all right here right away. Now, if you want to, sort of how Revit does this, you can go to Revit links explicitly and see that isolated. You can go to the CAD links here, and you can see that isolated. My personal preference, though, is just to show all things all at once. Oh, by the way, you can also show all links and all imports. This sometimes is useful when there's a lot of them and you want to handle them one by one as they turn from an import into a link. In the process, it actually can save you a bit of time, and it can save you a bit of frustration because you can see it all on one page. But my personal preference here is to view all things all the time. And I like leveraging the sorting ability here at the top. I can click, for example, on insertion method and see all of my imports together, and then all my links together, DWG links, and then Revit links with their link type. I can go over here to my status and see how this is brought in, whether it's imported or unloaded or loaded or whatever. I like that ability to kind of sort and work through here, as opposed to going to individual tabs. But that's up to you. That's why the options exist there. Now, with this tool set, one of the things I'm going to start with here is the Revit links. I can see all of my Revit links here together because I've organized by my insertion method, and all Revit links will be either link overlaid or linked attached. In my case, they're all overlaid here, and I can see all of them. I can see what their instance name happens to be over here. I can see what work set these things happen to be on, and I can see the original RVT file from which these links are coming. I can also see, by the way, whether they're pinned or not. And in my case, once my links are in place, especially my Revit links in my project, I like to make sure that they're all permanently pinned. And I notice that these are not for whatever reason. And so I'm going to go through and just use the pin command here to pin all 4 of them and have them all ready to go. I'm also noticing that this particular link right here, my AS20 link, happens to be on the interior work set. Now, the AS link for me is the architectural site, the site model that the architects can kind of play around with. Maybe they're coordinating with the civil team on this, but it's a Revit model that is the site plan, and it allows them to move the building around or buildings around on a site. But it's on the interior work set for whatever reason, and that's kind of silly. So I have the ability up here to also change its work set. Maybe this is supposed to be on the site work set instead of the interior work set, and I can update that accordingly. So it makes that process real simple. I can also do things like reloading here, reloading from. So if I wanted to repath a bunch of these things, I could do that. There's some reload commands here. I can turn off and on the ability for this to be a room bounding item. So if I wanted, for example, the structural model to be room bounding, I can set that, and it'll enable the room bounding for that structural model, whereas the mechanical, electrical, and site models probably wouldn't be room bounding. But I have the ability to make those types of choices. Now, here's the real power, in my opinion, of this tool. I mean, first off, I'm seeing everything all at once, and I have all kinds of controls at my fingertips, and I don't have to go anywhere in my model to try and figure out where these things are. But right here, I'm noticing that I have a bunch of imported content, and I can see what those files are. In these cases, DWGs. I've actually got 3 lower-level DWGs imported into my project, and I've got level 2 DWG imported in my project. This is on the workset CAD link, which is great. That tells me already that this is not current view only. These other ones are actually on a view workset, which tells me that when this was imported, it was imported to the current view. And if I kind of look through these real quick, I can find out like, hey, this one is on a working view. This one's on a working view. This probably means that somebody duplicated this original one up here and did a duplicate with detailing. And maybe just to save myself some headache and time and some size in the project file, maybe I just want to remove these guys. So I can select these 2, and I can straight up remove them from the project. It'll go find them in their view, and it'll just delete them. I don't have to navigate to it myself one by one, try and search through the project and find it. I can just delete it right from this UI. I can also take this one, this LLDWG right here, and repath this. So I can do a swap and reload from a file. I can browse to where this file actually is stored, which in my computer's being all squirrely here, should be here in my CAD files. Yeah, there's my BLL, my basement or my base model lower level. And I get a secondary pop-up window that lets me adjust a bit about this import or linked CAD file. Now, one of the things I can do here is switch this from an insertion type of import to an insertion type of link, and it'll convert it in place into a link, and it'll do its best to try to maintain all of its settings. The rest of these settings were sourced from when it was first placed. There's a little bit of information kind of stored there, and I can leverage that. But if I wanted to change how this was imported, maybe I didn't want it center to center, or maybe I didn't want colors preserved. I wanted them all black and white, or maybe I wanted to choose just the visible layers, or you name it. There's a lot of things you can do. I could modify this. Maybe I want to update what its host view happens to be, and I can pick a different floor plan. So all of that can be modified right from this UI. In this case, I'm just going to switch it to a link and click OK. This is going to, in place, swap that component into a now linked model. And it's still current view only, but it's now a link instead of an import, which actually greatly changes the impact of this DWG on my project. It's removed the link, removed the import, replaced it with a link, still kept it pinned in place, kept it in its original location, but now it's ready to be used properly as a link. Also, I'm noticing one other aspect here. This DWG right here, notice how this is interior work set as well, just like the site model was. all of my not current view only, not view hosted imports or links should be on the CAD link work set. And so I'm going to update that right now, change this work set to CAD link. That's going to fix that right there. That, in a nutshell, is the Import&Link Manager. There's not a whole lot more to this tool that you really need to be concerned with. I mean, the ability to see live in your project model, the Revit links and DWG links and imports side by side, and the ability to adjust all of their settings very quickly right here from a single environment, from a single ribbon, that can save so much time. Feel free to sign up on our website through our events page for all of our future webinars as well that relate to tools in which you have some interest. Thank you all again, and we look forward to seeing you in the next CTC webinar. Have a great day.